Dr. B here. Please give it a listen, a watch. Fantastic Deals and Dreams pilot series. I interviewed a lot of folks in the real estate and or business world. I hope you enjoy this episode. Enjoy. Hi everybody, welcome to another edition of the Dr. B Show. I didn't know about that thing. I'm here with the great Eva Vennari. Eva, how are you?
I'm great. How are you? We're
I'm doing
dinging
fantastic, fantastic. How's it going today?
really well. It's
Very
always really
well.
well. You can say fabulous or fantastic. Yes.
Excellent, excellent. Let's jump right into it. Tell everyone about yourself.
I'm known as the true holistic healer, founder of the Elevate Institute out of Los Angeles, but I could be from anywhere because who wants to be held down by a calendar to one spot? Yeah.
I love that. That's like me. I'm based out of Linden, New Jersey, but I can work from anywhere technically. I actually did
Mm.
workshops and stuff from a hotel and from different places, so I get it. Awesome. Looking forward to taking a deep dive into our conversation. So, I'm very big on education. With my background, MBA, DBA, and of course the BBA. So you went to California State. You also got your certification in global nutrition healing, right? And also
Yeah.
mineral balancing. How has
That's what they certify in. Yeah.
that's what you certified in, right? Right.
Yeah.
So how does that help? How has that helped you in what you're doing today?
It's more like what has it helped me heal so that I can help others heal today. And it was a journey, long, long journey. But Cal State LA, I went to school there for commercial art years and years ago. Years and years ago, I was an artist. And from there to the Global Nutritional Healing Certification in Mineral Balancing Science, and that's a lot of words. There have been many certifications in between. So it's a collective. It's things I don't bother to jumble up on my LinkedIn with all of the different courses, classes, certifications because it's too much.
Sure.
Yeah. How has it helped? So overcoming my own illness was the first step. And all of those certifications in between, not even remotely related to health and healing, but some of them are. And with that broad spectrum of trainings in physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual work, even including the commercial art, it all comes into play for what I do today. None of it's lost. It's all useful information.
That is true. That's like me. I'm a bachelor. Well, everything is in business, but all the jobs that you do, right? Whether it's cold calling, the internship, the associate, the administrative, the manager role, right? All that kind of all that experience
Everything.
helps.
Yes. Yeah, nothing is lost, that's for sure.
I love it. I love it. Tell me about. I'm very big on volunteering. I just stepped down from a board. I'm about to join another one. Don't know why, but that's another story for another show. But tell me a little bit
How to
about.
say no? Yeah.
You can't say no. That's my problem. Tell me about Heal the Bay and all that work you've done through Heal the Bay.
Oh, yeah, it's my way of giving back monetarily. I can't necessarily take too much time from day to day to go physically, but I can share a little bit of impact. And so, any way that I can send a little bit, like a 10% share of maybe a program that I'm offering, I work on that. And also switch up who I give to throughout the years and have gone from Heal the Bay and gone back to Heal the Bay and to other institutions. But I think it's important. I grew up in an environment, my mother was like cheerleader for Let's Volunteer, first district PTA president here in Los Angeles. She was on the board of education. She was very involved. She was constantly on the front cover of the news magazine, the local newspaper. So I understood volunteering as a part of life. And I think that's when you find a worthy cause that's important to you, you should. And so one of my worthy causes is Heal the Bay. Another one is going to be working with battered women and recovery from, know, being in an emotionally abusive relationships. Those two things are very important to me.
I love that. Yeah, and also for me, it's about giving back. And yes, you have a network. Yes, especially if it's a national organization, there's conferences and you meet people. But at the end of the day, it's all about everyone having that shared vision, right? Or for that mission of the organization, right? You agree there?
Yeah, I think if you volunteer or if you have that mission-driven life, you have that little kernel of truth inside you that says, "I'm here to heal the world in some way, small, large, doesn't matter how big it is, but we're here to change things." And I think that goes hand in hand with volunteering.
I love it. I love it. Which segues into my next question, right? So you started the Elevate Institute back in September of 2011, I believe, according to LinkedIn. So tell me a little bit about the origins about that. My one of my questions lately on my shows has been like the beginning, right? I always like to know the beginning. Maybe I watched too many prequels on Netflix. So tell me the beginning.
Marvel peak prequels, right? We can pick
Right,
them all.
exactly.
Yeah, fan. I'm a fan. So, yeah, it was an interesting a force of nature that occurred in my life. You know, when you're in the wrong place, whether energetically, it could be in a relationship, it could be in business, it could be work, it could be anything. When you're in the wrong place, things start to fall apart in a way that you just can't repair. There's no amount of relationship repair. There's no amount of jumping from one job to the next to end up in the same dead end. And I found that happening over and over again. And my health was dissipating. It was really, really disintegrating. And I had a ongoing conversation with multiple doctors of the Western medicine world, where they kept telling me things like, well, you have XYZs, and here's a list of all of your symptoms: chronic fatigue, anxiety, insomnia, depression, fibromyalgia, itchy skin, heart palpitations, short-term memory loss, hypothyroidism, da 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 da. Went on 30 different symptoms. I rattled them off a lot fast. No need to take notes. So that process led me down the path of I'm just burnt out. I'm so tired. I need answers. And the doctors kept saying to me, well, we don't know what's wrong with you. And around that same time where I was discovering, well, there is a path that's just not with Western medicine and medication. It's with managing these symptoms with the mineral balancing science. Around that same time that I understood that and started giving my body what I needed, my ex-husband passed away. So he died of a heart attack. He was 45 years old on 17 different medications, died of a heart attack in the hospital. And that moment, it wasn't so much a redredging of the relationship loss that you do when you're divorcing. That's a different thing. This was an unnecessary death of any human being. Why was he on 17 medications at the age of 45? So it was my wake up call. And I realized I needed to stop the industry in which I was and pick up the yoke of the healer who says, you have an option, and here's the option. And that's how things started.
Wow, it's amazing. That's scary because I'm close to that age, closer than before. I'm like, oh my God, 17
Ah,
medications. I can't imagine that, right? So it's so interesting how that kind of started, which segues into my next question. But go ahead. Anything you want to add to that?
it's very easy to get on 17 medications these days. You go in with one
Right,
symptom, who
right,
says, oh, here's a prescription for that.
right,
Less than a year later, you have side effects, three or
right,
four. Now you're on
right. I
medications for the
see that.
side effects. That's how that happened. Yeah.
Ah, I got it. Makes sense. It makes a lot of sense. Which segues into my next question. Um, I was looking at your LinkedIn and your bio and website a little bit. So you talk about fortifying the immune system without burnout,
Mhm.
without drugs or fads or trends. Tell us about that a little bit.
There is this untapped wealth of knowledge each of us are built with. Our design of our human body is perfectly designed and it can heal itself. And we lose faith in the body when it starts to stumble and not give us the productivity that we think it should based on what we're giving it. I'm like, there's this disconnect there. So we don't, one, A, we don't know how to take care of our bodies in a general sense. And then B, we have an incomplete list of things that the body can achieve for us. And that includes healing. If we give it what it needs, it can heal itself. And then the next question is, well, how do we know what it needs? And that's what I take the guesswork out of. But this innate understanding the body has within it, it knows what to do with the food we give it, the water we give it, the rest we give it, the relaxation. It knows what to do. And so, how does the immune system get supported by taking minerals? It's very simple in my little mind. Let me see if I can convey it. So, immune system is oftentimes suppressed from toxic metal overload and nutritional imbalances, parasites, plastics, the list goes on. But The mistake we make is, the body must not know that it's full of toxins, that it's full of nutritional imbalances, that it has parasites in it. Yes, it does. It just isn't getting that. What does it need? It needs these things over here. It needs the rest, the sleep, the water, the right kind of foods. And it's over here trying to take care of those things for you, but it can't. So it's a disconnect between our logical mind thinking that we know better and the design built in within us that says, I know exactly what to do with the minerals. When I see the right minerals, I will put them to work. And they come in to the body. However, water, food, air, it all comes in. It's a big party. There's no doorman. And the toxins and the minerals that it prefers all come in together. The preferred minerals the body takes first. That's priority. And it takes those in and it says, "Oh, I know where the toxic metals are that's holding the spot for this mineral." Like a flat tire, you put the temporary tire on, right? That's a toxic metal. That's a nutrient imbalance. And those things we don't want to just pull out. Now we're running our car on the rims, which is not good for the car, metaphorically speaking. So quality nutrients go in, the body pulls out the toxins. As those leave, now the immune system isn't suppressed anymore, right? It rises to its strength and it can kill off the viruses and the harmful bacteria that we are storing, causing more inflammation while they're there. And so this is a constant catch 20. We're constantly trying to overcome not only the things that we've built up over the lifetime of our past, but also what we're exposed to from day to day now. So getting ahead of it is one thing, and then dealing with the past is the other.
It makes a lot
And
of
that's,
sense. It makes a lot of
yeah.
sense. It makes a lot of sense. I want a quick comment. I did it twice. I lost a lot of weight and probably the total wrong way. I was doing some fasting, right? But at times I was lightheaded and I was wondering why. Why am I lightheaded? Why am I like feeling imbalanced? It's because I wasn't feeding the body the fuel that it needed or water it needed. I kind of did it wrong basically, and it's actually gained the way back. But but you're right. It kind of talks about
Yes. Yeah. And I can't say that it's your fault. It's like
right.
who's who's out there sharing how the body functions and how to take care of it? Well, I am,
Yeah.
but that's why we're here. We're to let people know that I'm out there.
Thank you. Appreciate that. So maybe now
Yeah.
I can lose it the correct way.
Get your metabolism working correctly so that it
Exactly.
starts the process. That's what I do. Yeah.
Exactly. No, I love that. You prior to us in the green room, right? You spoke about you spoke about your main offer, right? Your main offer is a
Mhm.
path to ascension. So I want to get into that
Yeah.
a little bit. Tell me about
Yeah.
that.
Well, I discovered that I mentioned earlier that I was in the wrong business. I was doing the wrong work. And I have found a direct link between finding purpose in the what we do every single day and our health. And we think oftentimes there are two different categories unrelated, but they're actually velcroed together. Because quite frankly, if you don't have your body in health, how is it going to perform so that you can do your work? Even if you don't feel like the work you're doing now is your passion or your purpose. So the other flip is if I'm going to get a little woo, if your spirit, your body says your soul is speaking to you and it says you're supposed to be doing this work, but instead you're doing this work, you're going to get the equivalent of a 2x4 to your life over the head that says no, which for me looked like my ex-husband passing away and, losing my work job. So there were all these things that came into place that looks like tragedy to begin with, but ultimately they were to get me on my right path. And the purpose, your money, your productivity, your health, they're all aligned. You miss one, you miss the other.
I love this. And do you do this work with individuals or corporations, B2B, B2C as I call it? Can you expound on that?
Yeah, there are some trainings that can be done in a group that don't require, one-on-one work. That's B2B, but the most of the business, I find people come to me and they say, I want your personal take. I want to know what's going on. I want you to see what thought processes are getting in the way of my next step. I want you to pull out from my DNA. What am I supposed to be doing? Clear away all of the energetic buildup, clear away all of the physical impurities in my body so that I can see my path and move it forward more easily. And That's the work. So yes, both individuals, and oftentimes the individuals will come from corporate who are wanting to lead a team, and they're finding a little bit confused. I'm not sure where we should go next, or I want to be faster about how we move forward.
I like that.
It can be smoother, it can be quicker, and that's the job.
I love that. Awesome. Good, good. Excellent. Speaking of jobs, speaking of leadership, speaking of teams, I want to read you a quick quote from an article, right? So, uh, 66% feel some type of burnout on the job, 81% ages 18 to 24, 83% ages 25 to 34, reasons being excessive workloads, all that stuff we discussed, right? Lack of resources, economic stress, and are some of those reasons. What are your thoughts on that stat, and what do you think organizations can do to counter that?
Yeah. I believe that magazine article was out of
Oh,
Forbes.
Forbes. It's Forbes. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and what a great quote, but that was also a couple years ago. And I've seen some
Probably
stats
more.
recently where
Yeah.
it's more, you
Yeah.
are right.
Yeah.
So, okay, the question becomes a little bit existential. Are people losing touch with, doing work, finding joy in their work, or is it they really don't take care of their bodies as well as they could because they don't know? And if we had more nutrition, would we be less confused? Would we have more energy for our friends and family outside of work? Would we put more effort into work if we had more energy for our friends and family and outside of work things? And I think the answer in all of that is yes. I think we would. We would have a path of more personal excellence. Like I remember there being a fervent desire in society for not the hustle and grind, but for personal excellence. I want to bring that back, but we can't if we're running on fumes.
I agree. I agree with you there. That's why it's important for me to. I don't just like. I'm not in front of my computer all day. I take time to step away. I do my walks in the morning where I can. Right. I'll make sure I fuel. Make sure I eat, so I don't forget to eat. You know, it's important to kind of keep going. So I agree with you there. I love that. What final advice? We're winding down, right? So I want to make sure we be mindful of your time and my time, right? What final advice would you give to someone on the fence? Similar to what you just discussed earlier. They're on the fence, they're entrepreneur, and they're feeling burnout, or they're ignoring their health, they're ignoring the signals from the body. What can what advice would you give to those individuals?
I would speak directly to that person and say, look, I know where you are. I've been there. I've been so stuck and feeling a loss for the who do I ask? Because everybody I've talked to so far, waste of time, waste of money, hasn't given me the result that I need. You could stumble around for another 15 years like I did and wait and find stuff that will work kind of sort of on your own. Or you could find somebody who's been where you are, has what you want, and will help you get there faster. So it's your choice. It's always your choice. And I think that's the important thing to remember is where you are is up to you.
100%. I love that. Tell me, I plan to air this. I'm going to try to push this to be aired a little bit early to help with your cruise. Tell us about
Oh, thank you.
that.
Yeah, I've been talking about the true holistic healing path, and that's, the physical body, the emotional, and then the spiritual side. So some of the spiritual work, small percentage of it, is done one-on-one and in person, hands-on healing. And I put those together on various retreats. So this first one that's coming up in August is the 21st to the 28th of 2025. I have just a few seats left, which is why we're we're talking about it sooner than
Chatting
later.
now, exactly. That's the
Yes.
original reason why it came.
Yes. Those hands-on healings, they are the very things that can energetically get rid of things that we trip on and get triggered by from all the way to youth. What recently maybe has been causing you trouble, and you look to the future and worry and make decisions out of fear rather than from your sovereignty. Help you get to that place of I'm clear, I know what my path is, I'm going to heal the body, heal the mind, ability to think clearly, and then bless the future. It is a little bit woo, a lot woo, but these are the paths that I took to clear out the energy storms that were creating a feelings of unreality, anxiety, and insomnia in my life, and that slows us down. It also stops us from healing. Not getting enough sleep can eventually cause heart attack and stroke. So these are things we'll be correcting as we travel the seas just next to Alaska from August 21st to the 28th.
I love it. Where can people find more information about that?
They can go to my website, theelevateinstitute.com, and you'll see a banner at the top, and one of the banners as it slides through is a ship. Click on that, follow the link.
Easy, easy peasy. Where can people find more information about you? Whether they may not be able to do the cruise, but maybe they want to get in touch with you and hire you or some way, shape, or form.
Yeah, same place as the elevateinstitute.com is fabulous. I'm the only Eva Vennari in the world, so
Really? Oh,
yeah,
that's
LinkedIn,
curious.
Facebook, it's fun.
I'm not the only Jairo Borja though. You believe that?
I don't. That's why I mentioned it. I'm like, how unique can my name be? It's extremely unique. Now watch somebody go name their kid. So this is
Exactly.
the website is fabulous place to start. You can even find on the pricing page, it just gives you the ability to log a one-on-one call with me because your questions are going to get personal and long. You'll ask one question of me, I'll answer it. It begs two more questions until finally you have all the information you need to make whatever decision you like.
Thank you, Eva. Thank you so much for being on my show. I enjoyed our conversation. I enjoy our conversations as always. I know there'll be some value to my community and my listeners. So thank you so much, Eva, for being on my show.
Glad to be here. Thank you.
Thank you, Eva Vennari, everybody. Take care. Hey, Dr. B, hope you enjoyed this limited edition Deals and Dreams pilot. I hope you really enjoyed it. Hope you got some insight. And remember, as Mike Lee would say, you are one big deal away from making it happen. All right, take care.